In terms of healthy disciple making churches, that to me that's got two components to it. One is the depth of discipling, and another is the growth in the number of disciples. And when thinking about the Park Street situation, it's pretty clear that the depth of discipling desired by Park Street leadership was significantly less because than the what the status quo was a few years ago, because there's fewer ministers with less focus on specific groups of people, and then that also flows into lower numbers, and that's manifested where ministries have been shed and shrunk and have less ministerial support, and so that's just the fruit of the situation and how what the four C's affirmed in terms of the appropriate approach. And it's not looking good, unfortunately. Now, in terms of the Lord adding daily to their number those who were being saved and multiplying disciples, multiplying communities of disciples, and the empowerment of the Holy Spirit, I'd just say, um, I mean, as people sought to minister to others outside of Park Street Church after essentially having been cast out for all intents and purposes, there immediately was culling of the membership rolls. Um, there was certainly no interest in discipling people with whom there was disagreement. There was certainly no interest in reconciling and reaching out. There was certainly no interest in growing the church's mission or growing the church's reach, in at least among people who are already there. And um, that's manifested in people that actually still choose to identify with the church getting cast out as not members because they worship in multiple places. Um, and actually, frankly, if you want more information, I can provide it, but that was done in ways that don't fit the Park Street Church bylaws, even. And so, how can we have healthy disciple making churches that don't even follow what's written as their rules, their governing documents? So, um, and they they're so committed to shrinking to success that they will even violate their own bylaws to get rid of people who think differently from them and act differently from them. Who again, and these are not theological differences, in terms of the typical theological debates. So anyway, it's I don't know how it's possible that the Four Cs is committed to healthy disciple making churches and supportive of the kinds of behaviors that shed disciples and reduce the depth at which discipling can be done in a given church. And I would like to note that the poor treatment, there have been significant budget reductions for Park Street Church, unfortunately. Um, and yes, that requires having fewer staff, and it's related to having fewer people. But I want to be very clear that people who were committed to the church tried to stay and kept giving faithfully until it was well past too late to essentially save the save what they thought was something that was very important to fight for. Um, so anyway, I'll leave it at that.